3 minutes until kickoff here in week number 5. Goodness, that is hard to believe. Already week 5 in the 2025 high school football season. Labette County coming off of their first loss of the season at Wellington, where they lost 25-14 and was outscored in the second half by Wellington 25-7. Dad, I know you were out of town last week, and it was me and Caleb McKee on the call, and that was a game where Labette County was in control but could never go up by more than one score, holding a 7-0 halftime lead and then keeping that lead all the way until about 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and then Wellington was resurrected from the dead and scored 25 points compared to our 7 to finish that game. Just kind of a dead second half last week in Wellington, what looked like could be a good win.
Yeah, that just goes to show you, of course, we were out of town, out of state, and but we tuned in, enjoyed listening to you and Caleb. You guys did a really good job calling that game. But, yeah, Labette County's up 7-0, comes out, gets the ball, drives 8 or 9 minutes to start the third quarter, gets to the 12, and then just had an unfortunate turnover. And I'm telling you, those things happen. But, we put that ball in and score 14-0, could be a different but that's not how it played out. So, tip your hat to Wellington. They stayed tough and finished strong. So, I look for us to bounce back tonight and get a win here against Fort Scott.
Speaking of those visiting Tigers, as the coin toss is taking place as we speak here below us, captains tonight for Labette County are Bryson Dickens, Michael Reed, Barrett Heston, and Kagan Bates. The visitors tonight are from up north, Fort Scott. The Tigers 1-3 on the season is Coach Stark's squad. They opened the season with a loss at Paola 34-6, at home against Parsons where they lost 25-22. Home against Independence they won 15-8. That's their only win of the year. And then last week at Pittsburgh, I believe they were up. It was like 15-9 at halftime or something. Fort Scott was up at some point in that game, either at halftime or into the second half, and then Pittsburgh bested Fort Scott 22-15. But what that does tell me is that Fort Scott is no slouch, and that while Labette County and Chanute are at the upper echelon of the SEK, Fort Scott might be right there next in line, having had a lead over Pittsburgh on the road in the second half.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was surprised when I heard that score. I just didn't expect that. But, we've learned a lot. Fort Scott, of course, lost to Paola. We don't know anything about Paola. And Independence, I think, having a reasonable year, and Parsons is improving. But, yeah, Fort Scott and Pittsburgh, too, have become kind of a rivalry match there the last 10, 12 years. So, anyway, on the road against Pittsburgh, yeah, I'm with you. I think we see a pretty good Fort Scott team here tonight. We'll just need to establish, like I'm sure Coach Argbright likes to do, a good running game and then mix it up from there and, just play good Grizzly football.
It's always really quirky when Labette County plays Fort Scott. Something weird always happens. I remember in the Easton Dean era, we won on a 2-point conversion on one of our better years back in 18 or 19. Last year at Fort Scott, we had to hold them on a lateral as Fort Scott tried to score on an 80-yard hook and lateral, and we stopped them at like the 10-yard line. That was a wild game. Here at home, when Kendall Holtzman was our quarterback, we ended up kind of collapsing towards the end of that one, having to go the length of the field, and then gave it up to them. So a lot of weird things tend to happen when we play this team in white. That's Fort Scott. Labette County's in black tonight, and Nolan Nash lets it rip with his right foot, and the Tigers receive. They bobble it and then collect, and left to right. Fort Scott's going to be bottled up at their own 28-yard line. On the return is Gavin Miles, and it is really nice, Dad. Fort Scott has white jerseys and crisp, clean, and visible red numbers. Wellington had like gray uniforms and dark maroon numbers, and I could not see nothing.
Well, it's a good thing I wasn't there then, because if you and Caleb had a hard time seeing the numbers, I would have not seen any of them. So, yeah, we'll be happy for all the small things that are going our way already.
1st and 10 Tigers. A run to the right up the middle goes for about 43. Kagan Bates in there on the tackle around the legs.
Number 43,
Aiden Ogren on the carry for Fort Scott, as their numbers on the roster are not in order, but I believe that's because they have them listed as who starts. So that's kind of unique here on the roster sheet I was given.
That was different. That was a little give. The quarterback did a nice job of carrying out the bootleg fake there, so I look for him to keep some of those going forward.
2nd down and 6. They give Ogren 4. This time he gets 1, maybe half a yard, as he's hit hard by Claiborne, Camden Good, Kagan Bates in there as well. So 3rd down and 5 for Fort Scott, who again, head coach is Jonathan Stark. And for Labette County, it is Bradley Argabright, who is 3-1 in his first year as head coach here at Labette County. But I know for these coaches and players, tonight is the start of a new season. It is SEK conference play, and Labette County has their sights set on winning that title. Here's a fumbled snap. Labette County is showing they have it, and they do. Turnover Tigers, recovery Grizzlies.
Well, that was nice penetration there by our line. It looked to me like our linebackers were cheating up and stunting. So I think that really quarterback picked up on that and just rushed himself. So really good job there defensively to break that up and get the turnover.
I believe Michael Reed is being accredited. He is for the recovery of the fumble, and he'll slam the pigskin in the turnover trash can that Labette County's sideline likes to have as part of their turnover celebration on the sideline. That's always fun to watch. Except I remember one time when I forget who it was, but they went to dunk the football after an interception, and, well, they missed the dunk. So we don't have to show those on the live stream anymore, Caleb, if we see a missed one. 1st and 10 Grizzlies after the turnover. Handoff to the left. Deontay Fields, a lot of room, stays on his feet across the 20 and into the red zone down at the 18-yard line. Labette County looking crisp on their first play of the game.
Well, that sure was, and that was blocked so well. He had plenty of room to get going there. And it's always difficult, I think, for a right-footed, right-handed player to run to the left. It's a little more awkward for them to cut, but Deontay did such a nice job there cutting back against that, picking up an extra 3 or 4 yards.
Deontay averages 73 rushing yards a game. He is the workhorse back for this Grizzly offense. Again, Labette County in black uniforms with red helmets tonight. Fort Scott in white unis. Fields to the left again, working through contact down to the 10-yard line. Didn't look like he had much after his first few strides, and he still carries White Cloaks down to the 10, gain of 8.
That was a great run there. Talk about extra effort. And that's Coach Argbart ran basically the same play. That's the old philosophy that, we're going to run until you stop it. We're going to keep coming at you. So 2 good runs here by the Grizzlies.
No receivers left or right of junior quarterback Aaron Wyrick. T formation for the Grizzlies, have ran it well early. Kagan Bates looking for the end zone area, and he'll get inside the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal Grizzlies at the Fort Scott 2. Aaron Wyrick quickly gets the signal from Coach Argabright, and Labette County's going to run some hurry up here and look to pound it in quick.
I look for us to go left again. We've gone off that left side 3 times, so maybe we know something about their side of the defense versus ours going left.
Wyrick barks and collects the pigskin. Handoff Bates, leans in. Touchdown Labette County. Kagan Bates off the left hand. Give 6-0 Good Guys with 9 minutes to play in the opening period. Boy, that was a pretty seamless defensive effort and offensive effort.
Yeah, gosh, what was it? 3 or 4 handoffs. All of them go left, and every one of them picked up 6 to 8, 10 yards apiece. I mean, you cannot textbook start a game much better than that. A fumble, and then 4 plays later, a score.
Nolan Nash on to split the uprights to try to give Labette County that pretty-looking 7-0 lead, which always looks so much better than 6-0. The kick is up, and it is true. 7-0 Labette County. Boy, looked pretty easy there early for the Grizzlies, but a lot of ball left. 9 minutes to play, first quarter. Back in 1 minute from Lucas Field.
Here's a bright idea. Streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTech has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTech has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
Life is about
Nolan Nash with a
Yeah.
healthy dose of boot on that kick, went all the way into the end zone after landing at about the 10-yard line for a touchback. So the Tigers get the ball at their own 20, working into a somewhat stiff south breeze here on an October evening in Altamont, Kansas, and a penalty before the snap for the Tigers here, who went, well, kind of 3 and out on their opening drive. They fumbled the snap on 3rd down, and Labette County recovered. And it's a legal procedure on the Tigers, kind of sloppy for the visitors from the north.
Yeah, right now they look a little uneasy, a little antsy. So, yeah, we have them in a really good situation here. We need to go ahead and close out this drive, 3 and out, and just kind of keep this momentum going.
1st and 15, Fort Scott already behind the original line of scrimmage. This is a nice run. Nolan Nash hits the ball carrier. I believe that's Ogren right on the ball, but he didn't lose it. Well, no, that's a different ball carrier this time. That's Paxton Allen, the 5'10 junior running back for the Tigers. It looks like they're going to be kind of a ground and pound effort themselves tonight.
Yeah, and that looked like an option to me. The quarterback read that and gave the ball. He made the right call, so that's a good if you have a team with a quarterback and running backs that can run a good triple option, that's an effective set of plays to call right there.
2nd down and 8 for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Another whistle before, or right when the ball was snapped here, rather. And it's going to be a legal procedure again on Fort Scott. So after the 7-yard rush by Allen, back them up 5 again on the illegal procedure penalty. So 2nd and about 13.
Yeah, Fort Scott continues to kind of shoot themselves in the foot here a little bit. I mean, granted, we've given them a dose of our own problems, but when they do have a good play, it seems like the next play they jump offside. So they have a lot of tightening up to do at this point.
8:15 to play. Clock is running. This game could go by quickly if the game script stays this way. A lot of rushing plays, and this one bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of about 4. Michael Reed celebrating alongside his teammate. Well, Michael's going to get credit, but in there next to him was Keegan Stritsky as well. But, man, Michael Reed, again, we've given him a middle name. It's Negative. Michael Negative Reed. His tackles for loss have been huge this year for the Grizzlies defensively.
Well, that's that's an interesting.
It's not a.
I'm glad you explained it.
Yeah, right. You don't usually want to be associated with the word negative, but it's a positive one here, if that makes sense at all. Here's a rush of about 6 for the Tigers to get back to the original line of scrimmage. 4th and 10, visitors, and on comes the punt team for the Tigers. And Labette County will look to get good field position here, as the return man is Nolan Nash, standing right at the red part of the Grizzlies split face. And Kagan Bates is going to go join him back there around the 45-yard line. This punt's going to be going into a breeze. The American flag in the south end zone is waving this direction. And the kick is fair caught on this side of midfield. But there is a flag at the line of scrimmage. Coach Argerbright lifts his microphone away from his mouth and yells to the official, asking what's going on.
That's a good job there by Nash stepping up and catching that. Sometimes, being the guy who has to catch punts, I'll let you make this call.
A sideline warning on Labette County, as it was interesting where the official threw that flag. Sometimes the officials try to throw the flag near where the penalty happened if they can, if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And he threw that flag like not even on the field,
Okay.
like on the Grizzlies sideline by the coach's box. So a sideline warning on Labette County, no penalty initiated. So it is 1st and 10 Grizzlies at the Tiger 48-yard line. And I know that you were watching the live stream last week, Dad, on your getaway. I don't know if on the live stream you could quite tell, but Aaron Wyrick's passes last week at Wellington was something to behold. They were very impressive, very accurate, long passes that were put perfectly. Might not throw a lot tonight, but I'm excited to watch Aaron play action one of these.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Hand off to the left to Fields. He's ripped to the ground for a loss of 2. But I know you were a quarterback yourself back in the day. And I don't know if you were more of a run-heavy quarterback or if you were, what you could relate to.
I could never throw the ball as good as what Aaron throws it, but we were a whole lot more sprint out stuff and kind of read and sometimes just keep it and run. And so I did notice there, I think that was our 5th or 6th run in a row, and every one of them's been to the left, so Fort Scott might have made an adjustment. They finally stopped one. So we'll see if Argerbright kind of shuffles the deck here with a different call.
2nd and a dozen, a 4-3 front for Fort Scott. A play action bootleg, a little bit underthrown and behind the intended target of Barrett Heston, I believe. Yes, incomplete. So now 3rd and 12 with 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's Labette County 7, Fort Scott 0.
Yeah, what a great call. We ran 6 running plays to the left, and on that one we faked to the left, kind of booted around. It was sprint out pass, ironically. And, the pass was just off. He was wide open there. We just threw a little behind him that time. Brings up 3rd and 12 here.
2 receivers left and 2 right for the Grizzlies. Perhaps anticipate a pass here. Straight drop back for Wyrick. Good protection. Floats one across the middle. It's 50-50. And the coin flip is won by Barrett Heston, who signals the first down. And his helmet flew off and 2 penalties flew in the air. As if that's excessive celebration, then we need to change the rules. I'm going to guess it's on maybe, was it a face mask or something?
Well, I don't
What
know.
a catch by Barrett, first of all.
Yeah, he timed that and went up so strong right up on the inside of the defensive back. I'm curious what this call is, though. Barrett pointed. I don't know if they're going to try. I don't know.
He pointed not at anybody. He was signaling first down. They're calling taunting.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mistaken. I think that's what that signal is. That is a poor call, which maybe at high school they really try to mitigate any celebration, but Barrett had no ill intent behind that at all. But Labette County, it looks like, is granted a first down, but it pulls the ball back 15 yards to the Fort Scott 40. Really sensitive call there.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to head off any of that from going forward. I think you can jump up and kind of like shout and kind of, but I guess it is what it is. 1st and 10.
It is a unique rule at high school that stays a first down and it doesn't go back to 3rd down. Here's Fields bounding around the tackles to the left near the Grizzlies sideline, and he's slammed to the ground inside the 35 after a gain of 7.
He's got such good balance. I thought that play was dead after 2 or 3 yards, and he found a way to kind of hunt and peck and, juke and jab and pick up another 3. So we got 2nd and very manageable here, 3 or 4 yards. And once again, the Grizzlies went to the left. That we know something through watching hours of film to keep obviously hammering that left side of the line.
Ball is on the left hash, so the weak side of the field is to the left. It's going to be a pass for the Grizzlies, a backwards pass to Fields at the 40. He'll get the first down across the 30. They cannot bring Deontay Fields to the field. Goodness gracious. He'll get the first and then some inside the 20 to the 19. He's a bar of soap right now for the Tiger defense.
Yeah, gosh, that was a tough catch. Aaron threw it nice, but it had a pretty good zip to it. and it's just difficult to catch kind of when you're running that angle. So, yeah, what a great effort. No doubt we had good blocking downfield, but he did a lot on his own there.
1st and 10 Grizzlies, ball at the Fort Scott 19. We are here because of a Barrett Heston catch on 3rd and 12, a great catch in coverage. T formation, we've been calling it for the Grizzlies. 3 backs behind Wyrick, dotted left to right. He's going to give it to Fields, and this time he's brought down after a short gain. And on comes Nolan Nash for Labette County. A couple subs changing up the formation here. Kagan Bates hobbling off a little bit for the Grizzlies, takes his helmet off, and he'll be back in here in a second. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah, it'd be hard to keep him off the field for sure. So, yeah, super impressed with the play calling here, trying to keep it as simple as possible by just keeping the running game going and dotting a few passes when we need to. So really good balance.
2nd down and 8. They give Fields 2. Handoff again to the left side. Goes to Nolan Nash, makes 1 miss, 2 miss, 2 flags fly. I think it's a face mask, and he'll go down at the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short, but I think
I did too.
This is a face mask on Fort Scott.
Could have thought I saw his head get pulled too a little bit. Gosh, what a great effort by Nolan.
Yeah.
Everyone's just playing really hard and playing through all the tackles. It's what a great start for us.
It's 7-0 Grizzlies, 3:36 left in the first quarter. The Grizzlies got a defensive turnover on their first drive, or Fort Scott's first drive of the game, and it is a face mask on Fort Scott. And then Labette County on that next drive scored in 4 or 5 plays on a Kagan Bates 3-yard touchdown run. And now it's 1st and goal from the 6.
And it's so easy sometimes when to credit, the runs and whatnot. But gosh, our line quietly and somewhat invisibly just does an amazing job down there.
7 down linemen for Labette County on this play. Bates flares out to the right as a decoy. It goes to Fields up the middle, and he'll gain about 5 down to the 1-yard line. 2nd down and goal from the 1, 3 minutes first period. Labette County should, barring ball security or an ill decision, have no problem scoring on 3 plays from the 2-yard line.
I'm going to call a quarterback sneak.
Michael Reed is behind Aaron Wyrick. Michael has a couple rushing touchdowns this year, our star defensive lineman, and he's going to run into a pile of human being, and he's not going to get it. I mean, oh, man, Derrick Henry couldn't have scored there. That blob of flesh formed within 2 seconds after the ball was snapped.
Yeah, I couldn't. That's exactly what that looked like. That's just sometimes when it gets so jammed up like that, and of course the defense is predicting the quarterback sneak or something up the middle, so everyone's tight, and it just becomes immovable. So you either go for it again here, or you fake the handoff and see if you can't catch an edge. We'll see what they call.
No Michael in the backfield. It's Claiborne. Oh, it's a quarterback sneak. Wyrick is going to get it. The near official gave it to him. Looked like there was a chance he was going to get stood up, but Wyrick denied that offer and pounded it in from the 1-yard line, and Labette County on 3rd and goal scores to go up 13-0 here at home.
Yeah, you might not think a quarterback sneak is a whole lot different than a quick give to the fullback off your right side, but it is. The quarterback's over the center, and he can see where there's a gap or a hole, a soft spot, and instantly step to that. It's a big, big difference doing that versus handing off.
It is. Nash was good on his first extra point, and this second one is good as well. 14-0 Grizzlies, minute 50, first quarter. Looks pretty good so far from up here. Labette County still with 3 quarters to play here at home to start 1-0 in the conference. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Grizzly football.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Tackle, bringing down Allen, the ball carrier. 2nd and 7 for Fort Scott, still looking for their first, I'm not even going to say score, progressive drive. They have yet to snap the ball in Grizzly territory.
Yeah, that was a little better push there by the Fort Scott's O-line on the right side, so.
Second down and 8 for Fort Scott. Risky pass, nearly intercepted, and a flag flies. Man, there's a lot of yellow birdies in the air here at Lucas Field. Was that Aaron Wyrick in coverage on the far side? Or was that Nolan? I heard Randy say Nolan. Did you see? Did anybody else see up
I couldn't
here?
tell. No, sorry.
It was almost an interception, so I wanted to give our player credit. It was great coverage. A flag did fly, though.
From what I saw, it looked to be Nolan was about to catch that pass, just couldn't keep it in his hands, and Justin Nash almost came in and caught the ball as it was falling, but couldn't get there in time.
So it was Nolan and Justin Nash in on the effort kind of together. There is a penalty, though, on Labette County. Interesting. Maybe a pass interference. Yes, pass interference on Labette County. So 1st and 10, Fort Scott. That pops the ball to the south, or towards the south here as Fort Scott works left to right. Ball's at their own 37, ball right at the middle of the field. Labette County looking to send heat. They do on the interior give. And, man, kind of a early whistle there, unless I missed who had the ball there. Okay, I must have. So only a gain of 2. So the ball carrier went down at the 39, but the pile kept moving to like the 45.
Yeah, that's part of that triple option. The line doesn't know if the quarterback gives the ball to the first back or pulls it, so yeah, that can be real deceiving.
25 seconds left in the first quarter. A pitch on an option play. Fort Scott with room, and a big tackle by Nolan Nash to get Creed Clayton down at the 45-yard line to force a 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers, as he had a lot more room ahead of him, did Clayton, but Nolan Nash took his legs out from under him, and that is going to be the end of the first quarter here in Altamont. Labette County 14, Fort Scott 0 here in week number 1 of conference play. Labette County 3-1 on the year, Fort Scott 1-3. We'll be back in 1 minute with the second quarter live from Altamont.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at klkcradio.com.
Third and 2 Tigers, a quarterback sneak. The pile didn't move, but are they going to grant him progress? Looks like they either got it or is about a half yard short. All comes down to the spot here. Looks like half a yard short, 4th and about half a yard, unless they're going to measure. They are.
Kind of surprised me just a little bit. Tells me Fort Scott surely understands how important this drive is, and really it is for us too. If we don't want to give them any life right now. If we can stop them and get one more score, we can just about really go with route with this game. If they put together a good drive and score, well, then it's game on. So really a big they get the first.
They did.
I'll be. I thought that was a half yard short. That just goes to show you.
It was worth the measurement. So 1st and 10 Fort Scott. Ball on the right hash. They're moving right to left as we view the field here elevated to the west side of Lucas Field in the press box. Lights are on. Sun is down. First game here in the month of October. Always my favorite month as far as weather goes. And it's a beautiful evening. Gain of about 3, maybe 4 for Cooper for the Tigers. 11 minutes to play in the first half. The Grizzlies lead by 2 scores, 14-0.
Fort Scott staying with that run game, the option game, kind of off tackle. But we have to be careful not get lulled to sleep. This is kind of where they pull it out and we slip a receiver down on a flag route or something.
2nd and 6 Fort Scott. Let's see if they go with the pass. No, they'll stick with the run, and why not? I think they get the first across the 45, and they do. Ball carrier this time, Paxton Allen. Fort Scott kind of keeping it the same, and I don't blame them. I mean, penalties have been a big reason why these drives have stalled for them, and I don't know if they've had a penalty this drive, and here they are for the first time in Grizzly territory.
Yeah, they've cleaned it up a little bit, and we've had a couple of penalties that were hurtful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to kind of plug this up here and put them in a third and long or a 4th down situation.
Homecoming night here in Labette County. They stick with the ground game, and nothing there. What, did the ball come out? It looks like the ball did come out. Refs waving their arms in the air like a man stranded on an island waving down an airplane. Now they're discussing at the 44-yard line what's the call. Ball is placed, and it's Grizzly ball. Second turnover forced, and it's looking like Wyatt Kepley is getting accredited for the turnover, or at least the recovery, as he was the one slamming the football in the trash can that time. Wyatt Kepley has about a turnover in every game, but last week, I think, he's been great for Labette County on that defensive front.
Yeah, he's had how many interceptions?
2, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. I really like that turnover bucket. That just celebrates and it brings to light how important the football is in getting those turnovers. So
Yeah, Fort Scott's feeling the contrary of that right now, as they feel like maybe they could be within a score, but they've turned it over twice. That is Nolan Nash. I thought that was Fields. Nolan Nash up the middle for a gain of 5. A Grizzlies slow to get up that time. Couldn't tell who that was. Barrett Heston hobbling on his right or left ankle, coming to the sideline here.
We'll hope that's maybe he just got a helmet to the thigh or something, side of the leg. Hopefully it's just like a, bruise or something. Maybe he can stretch it out or walk it off there.
9:30 to play first half. Grizzlies with the football fresh off of another Fort Scott fumble. Wyrick, another give. Fields right side, patient behind the blockers, gains 3. Third down and short across the split face into Tiger territory. Labette County smelling blood, looking to go up 3 scores here in week 1 of conference play.
Yeah, I really like the effort out of our line. I saw Lucas Hayward 4 or 5 yards downfield, still maintaining contact with his man, and just all those things you do that are so important that are easy to overlook, I guess, when you're watching a football game. Your eyes follow the ball and forget about the guys underneath.
So true. Third down and a long 1. Wyrick under center, no wideouts. Fort Scott packing the box. Inside give, why not? Claiborne first down and more. Gain of about 6 for Tayton across the 45 to the 43. Grizzlies punching it further and further down the field. Fort Scott not having many signs of life right now on either side of the ball.
No, I can kind of see them looking flat too. And, they had a drive going and then they turned it over. I mean, this could be really devastating for them if we can maintain this drive and get down there and score again. So super important here.
A lot of time just melting off the clock with both these teams running the ball heavily. 1st and 10, kind of a low snap. Wyrick's going to keep it, and he's bottled. Loss of 5. Couldn't quite tell. Yeah, it does feel, as the commentator Randy Blackwell, or the address announcer, mentioned that as a broken play. That's kind of what it looked like. I don't think that was the design, maybe. Loss of 5.
Yeah, it's hard telling. It very well could have been. So, in some ways, fortunate, I guess, that we have the ball still.
So 2nd down and 15 for Labette County. Wyrick's only thrown 2 passes, maybe 3 passes. 1 to Fields that was complete, 1 to Barrett Heston for 15 yards on 3rd and 12, and then an incompletion to Barrett on a slant route. So a lot of runs for the Grizzlies. Deontay Fields gets back near the original line of scrimmage to make it 3rd and 10 for the Grizzlies. Have a couple downs here, I would assume, to get the first down.
Yeah, I reckon so. And that time we showed a little different look, kind of spread out, kind of, flirted with showing maybe a pass formation and then continued just to hammer it up the middle. So like our commitment to running the ball, establishing the line of scrimmage, and it's just such a chess match with Coach Argerbright for the defense to try to figure out what's next. I mean, they might just, 3rd and 10, might just run it off tackle again. Why not? And we got 2 wideouts left and right here, single back set.
Wyrick drops back on 3rd and 10, zips one to the right, a little bit high and hot. I don't know, that only would have gained us about 3 yards if he would have caught it. It was Kagan Bates, the intended target. And Caleb, do you have an update on Barrett Heston? I see him down there maybe getting tended to.
Yeah, Mr. Cochran seemed to come over and help Barrett out. Now he's putting on his shoe and looks to be just about ready to get back on the field.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. It was that lower extremity. I think his ankle got taped up. So 4th and 10 for the Grizzlies after an incompletion. As that ball, he was deep on the drop back and threw it 25 yards, but if Kagan would have caught it, we only would have gained 2 yards. 4th and 10, hitch and go, deep floater is picked. No, dropped by the Tigers, and then a late flag.
I don't know what in the
I
world
have no
happened.
idea. As I wonder if who was the corner who made the play for the Tigers, long ways away, cannot see. But I wonder if he kind of dropped that on purpose on the way to the ground, because if he would have caught that,
yes,
they would have the ball on the 18, whereas he dropped it, so now they're going to have the ball after the turnover on downs at the 42.
That almost, I'm going to ask Artbright after the game, that almost looked like Wyrick threw that ball up to them, setting that up almost like a punt. I know that's not, we were going to make a reception there, but have you seen the call yet?
From what it seemed to be, it was the same call as it was. Oh, another call's coming in.
Is that two unsportsmanlikes on Labette County, Caleb?
It looks to be so. I think it could have been a push-off possibly for Nolan when he tried to go up there and catch the ball, or maybe a hands to the face in the moment, but not really sure about that one.
Refs on top of things tonight, perhaps trying to bottle attitudes. I don't know. This game doesn't feel chippy to me, but this crew is on it. Here's a run for no gain. Multiple Grizzlies in there. Tate Claiborne in the backfield alongside a couple other linemen. Hoppus in there too for the Grizzlies. No gain, 2nd down and 10. But after those penalties, or penalty, I don't really know, Fort Scott has the ball at the Grizzly 42 with 6 minutes until halftime. Again, it's Grizzlies 14, Tigers 0. Perhaps the drive of the game up to this point for Fort Scott.
Yeah, no doubt. This is very important for them. So Grizzlies need to stiffen here and squelch this out.
Handoff right side, lot of room. First down and more. Bounced off a tackler, did Creed Clayton. Bounced off another tackler, and he is not going to score. Oh, my goodness. Creed Clayton, the human embodiment of a pinball machine, and the finishing blow, I think, was when he ran into the back of his own teammate at the 1-yard line. He is dizzy and seeing speckle white dots right now. That was an interesting run.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that's a great run for Fort Scott. I can't take that away from him, but we're going to see a new energy with Fort Scott here, so we're going to have to really step up our energy level too.
Quarterback keep, gets into the end zone. Caden Cannon, their quarterback, keeps it and scores. Boy, that was a big drive for Fort Scott there. They scored quickly. Still 5 minutes left in the half after Labette County turned it over on downs and then had an unsportsmanlike conduct called on them, giving Fort Scott good field position, and they scored 3 plays later. On to kick the extra point for the Tigers is number 10, Caleb Hall. The ball is snapped, the hold is good, and the kick looks good as well. It is. So both these teams are a combined 3 for 3 on extra points tonight, and Fort Scott kind of sort of scored out of nowhere, but Labette County gave them good field position as well. So ball game here in Altamont. Labette County 14, Fort Scott 7. We'll keep it here and thank a few sponsors for allowing our broadcast to take place. We would like to thank a new sponsor, Idea Tech, for allowing our broadcast to take place alongside our amazing donors, Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Community National Bank, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, USD 506, and the Corner Store of Altamont. And we'll get to the rest of our sponsors later in the broadcast. I'm Jack Leake III. Alongside me tonight is my dad, Jack Leake Jr., and Caleb McKee is our live stream operator and kind of our sideline press box reporter. I don't know. What should we go with? Sideline reporter sounds fitting, but you're not on the sideline. Press box reporter. PB reporter. No, I'm sorry. We'll think of something.
How about Caleb Positive McKee? We've
Michael
already got in.
Michael Negative Reed and Caleb Positive McKee. Yes.
But I'll tell you too, the Grizzlies need to regain that edge. You know how easy this game felt for a while?
Right.
Up 2 scores, got turnover, going to go down score. Now we're up 1 score. Fort Scott's got bounce. We're going to have to go out there. This is a big drive for us.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it felt like they had nothing This kick is kind of shanked out of bounds. Fort Scott was not really wanting to kick it deep there. And kind of goes off the side of the kicker's foot straight near Coach Argerbright, so that should be a penalty. Yeah, okay, they did throw one. It was kind of covered by Keegan Stritsky, but the refs did throw a flag. And that ball's not going to come out much further from where it went out of bounds, because I think no matter where the ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff, it comes out to the 40. And that's about where it went out of bounds.
Okay, I wondered that. So we either get it there or we can make him re-kick and back up or something. There's an option.
Ball will end up on the 42-yard line.
Okay, so they put the ball at the 42-yard line, and it went out about the 37. So I wonder if it's 5 yards from where it goes out. That doesn't make sense. Really interesting.
I think you get it where it goes out, or you can have them re-kick. I think there's an option.
Maybe it did go out at the 42. I don't know. Doesn't matter. 1st and 10, Grizzlies. Field swallowed. A white curtain brings him down, and Fort Scott has a guy out there in the trenches. Austin Harrington has a cast on his right wrist, and he's out there banging around with the big fellas. 2nd down and 7 for Labette County.
Yeah, hey, Fort Scott's got a good tradition in football, so, I mean, I don't look for them to lay down anytime soon. So, again, Grizzlies really need to maintain focus and be intentional here. We need a good drive and a score.
2nd and 7, play action. Wyrick whipped to the ground. Sack. Really nice defensive play by Fort Scott's number 43, Aiden Ogren. Really nice play by Ogren. Read the bootleg very well. 3rd and very long.
Yeah, that again, he either stayed home like he should have and like you said, shut down that bootleg, or we missed a seal block. So either way, here we are, 3rd and 16, 3rd and 15. We'll see what Coach Argerbright decides to do, how aggressive he wants to be, or does he want to just try to pick up 5 or 6 and punt, or are we going to see if we can't just get a first here?
You're right, this game, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen on this play. Let's see, 3rd and 15. Wyrick pressured in the face, throws it deep, looking for Nolan, intercepted. This could be returned as well, and it still is. Moving right to left is the interceptor of the pass, Shea Kennedy, and he's pushed out of bounds at the Labette County 42. Caught it about the his own 40, return of about 20 yards. That ball floated. Nolan was in position, but Kennedy, the safety, was in even better position. And this game, I was going to say it before that play, what a different feel. Fort Scott now with good field position, only down 7, 3.5 minutes until halftime.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, here we go. So, this is where we're at, and if you're going to have a winning program and win games, this is when you have to stand up and make it happen. So this is what we want.
A lot of running room for Fort Scott again. I think that is Clayton. After a gain of 11, he was finally brought down. And I think Coach Argerbright, or maybe Fort Scott called the timeout. I don't know. Nope, I think Labette County called the timeout, and Coach Argerbright appears to be pretty strictly here getting onto his defense. They need a stop. Let's step aside for 30 seconds. You're listening to Grizzly Football.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Homecoming night here in Altamont at Lucas Field. We have a good one. Labette County 14, Fort Scott 7. It's Tigers ball at the Grizzly 30. With 3.5 minutes left until halftime. The snap and the give for Fort Scott is bottled. No gain. Stuck at the 30 and brought to the ground by a host of Grizzlies. Wyatt Kepley, Camden Good, Tayton Claiborne pop up from the mess.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need some good penetration from our D-line, allow our linebackers not to get hung up with blocks. Fort Scott have been running a lot. I still look for a pass here.
Inside, give to the right. What a good hit. And here comes the support crew. Gain of 3 for the Tigers. I think, was that Wyatt? Somebody soared in. Somebody soared in from the linebacker position. Camden Good. It was Camden Good who smoked the ball carrier, and then in came his helpers to finally bring him to the ground. So 3rd and 7, 2:20 left until halftime. What could be a big defensive stand here for Labette County. Here's the snap. A pitch to the right, goes to Clayton, dodges defenders, and then is pulled out of bounds after a gain of 3 to the 25. So a big 4th down and 5 for Labette County defensively here against Fort Scott.
Yeah, boy, it is, and that's that little counter option. Quarterback reads the defensive end or the first defender he comes to and either keeps it or pitches it. So we haven't seen that a whole lot, so we did a pretty good job there, I feel like, as having, who had the pitch back and who had the quarterback. But, yeah, this is huge. 4th and 5 on the 25-yard line, closing out the first half. Got a timeout, I believe, Fort Scott.
Indeed, Fort Scott burns their first charge timeout of the half. 4th down and 5. It's a big one when we return in 30 seconds on KLKC.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
Fourth down and 5 for Fort Scott. Drop back. They're going deep. Well overthrown, incomplete. Turnover on downs for the Tigers. Labette County gets the defensive stand, and the Tigers, well overthrown there was that ball. So 1st and 10, Labette County kind of dodged a bit of a bullet there, especially if we could score here before halftime with 2 minutes left in the half.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, this will sound a little bit like a mockery, but I can see why Fort Scott doesn't throw the ball. That ball was quite a bit overthrown. But, yeah, for sure, dodged a bullet here. Yeah, 2 minutes. How big would this be if we could maintain a good drive here and get down there and score right before halftime?
This game was all Grizzlies in the first quarter, and I mean all Grizzlies. Fields, big run, a lot of open grass. Fields across midfield, turns on the Jets. Goodness, wow. Look at him go if you can trace him. He's a blur. Touchdown Grizzlies. A 75-yard touchdown run by Deontay Fields.
Yeah, what a bad angle their free safety took. I knew the minute he kind of took that angle, kind of a 90-degree, there was no way he was going to keep him inside the edge there. So, gosh, what a turn of events from about 30 seconds ago.
Man, he's fast. Fields, I mean, Deontay was moving across midfield at a good pace, and I thought he was going to get caught. And then about the 45-yard line, he kicked it into a different gear and let it rip.
As I'm watching Jamal here on the sideline, he is so pumped for Deontay getting to fill his spot this year.
Yeah.
And Jamal is just stoked for this.
What a good teammate Jamal Jackson is. Been working through an injury this year and watching on from the sidelines. The extra point is good. Labette County 21, Fort Scott 7. Deontay Fields averages about 80 yards of rushing a game and just had a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play after forcing a turnover on downs defensively. That was a big swing, but one more defensive stand to come when Fort Scott gets the ball back in 30 seconds on KLKC.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
Nolan Nash back to receive the ball.
21-7 Labette County. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, on 106.7 FM on the radio or KLKC Sports on YouTube. Boy, Nolan Nash has put his foot to the pigskin tonight. Another good kick into the wind. Fort Scott's going to get a nice return here, though, out to their own 37-yard line. Labette County thinks they came up with the football. They did. The white hat is discussing. It's Labette County ball again. 3 turnovers from fumbles on the Tigers. This one on special teams, and Labette County can really bust this one open before halftime. Wow.
Yeah, my goodness. Well, I've said this about 30 seconds ago. How nice would it be if we could maintain a nice little drive here and score right before half? I'm telling you, those turnovers have been massive.
Colton Gehring on the recovery for Labette County on that special teams fumble by the Tigers, and now the Grizzlies forget the defensive stop. Let's score again. We already got that. 1:30 until halftime. Labette County up 21-7 when it felt like Fort Scott was clawing back, but still yardage to be gained. Straight drop back for Wyrick. He's got him man open deep left. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
And a flag is going to fly. I think it was Nolan Nash who got smoked as he was watching that ball come into his arms. He didn't catch it, but he was smoked by that corner or safety, and a flag flew on the hit.
I think it was helmet to helmet. I mean, that looked really like he led with his crown of his helmet and hit Nolan in the head, and maybe a little early on top of that.
White hat talks to Coach Argabright, explaining the penalty. It is a personal foul on Fort Scott on that hit, and so although the pass fell incomplete, I don't know how you would catch that. Nolan was annihilated as that ball was coming into his vicinity, and that takes the ball all the way down to the Tiger 22. Grizzlies more than enough time. That's not really a factor. 1:25 until the intermission. Fields behind Wyrick. Aaron, the quarterback, takes the snap. He's looking left. He's pressured, adjusts, keeps his composure, rolls right, dodges, and goes down. It'll go down as a sack for the Tiger defense. Loss of about 3 yards to the 25.
Yeah.
And the clock stopped, so I think Coach Argabright might have called his second charge timeout of the half, so that clock doesn't run too far down. It's always a little different, as we'll keep it here. If that would have been a designed run for Labette County, Coach Argabright very well may not have called a timeout and let that clock run and get the next play going. But whenever it's a sack and the clock keeps running, it kind of throws off the script a little bit. And so, you know, because you're looking at a 2nd and 13 in comparison to a 2nd and mid. So
yeah,
whenever it's a sack, it changes the thought process.
Yep, and I know we lost 3 or 4 yards here, but Aaron Wyrick did exactly the right thing. The pass wasn't there. He looked, he pumped, he looked, he pumped, but instead of getting antsy and just throwing it, he tucked it and ran it. And sometimes, you know, a 2 or 3 yard loss or whatever is so much better than what the alternative could have been, especially now. I mean, we're in such a important situation with 1:14 left. We get the kick at the halftime. We have so many things in our favor. So a good decision there by Aaron, and he really wasn't in a good place to try to throw it away. He had defenders behind him and in front of him. You just can't set up and throw the ball in that situation.
2nd and 13 for Labette County, working left to right. Grizzlies in black uniforms, Fort Scott in white. Labette County 3-1 on the year, Fort Scott 1-3. Grizzlies coming off of their first loss of the season at Wellington last Friday night. Labette County with 1 timeout remaining. Wyrick takes the helmet high snap, drops back, whistles blow.
Right on the play.
And there's a penalty on the play. Didn't look like Fort Scott moved, so perhaps a legal procedure on Labette County. It is. So 2nd and 18 now, and out of a timeout, you usually don't want to see any sort of illegal procedure penalty after you've already gotten your thoughts together.
Yeah, and this is one more thing that can kind of happen when you start throwing the ball more. You know, notice we've run the ball 90% of the time. Linemen, when they know they're pass blocking, kind of set on their heels a little bit more. It's easy to rock back, so it just changes things.
That's a really good breakdown. That makes a lot of sense. 2nd down and 18. It's a quarterback draw. Fort Scott wasn't ready. Wyrick into 3 defenders after a gain of about 20, maybe not quite that much, about 15. What a great play call. He's only about a yard shy.
Tremendous play call. Spread everybody out. Aaron's a strong, good runner anyways.
3rd and 1.
A super play call right there.
40 seconds left in the half. 3rd and half a yard for Labette County. Wyrick under center. Gives it to the tailback. Fields, I think, scrapped hard enough to get the first. And Coach Argerbright is going to call his final timeout of the half after Labette County got the first. So it'll be 1st and goal Grizzlies from the Fort Scott 10. Or no, he didn't call a timeout. Aaron's going to spike it. Forgive me. The clock stopped because Labette County got the first down.
Okay.
And then once they got the sticks in place, the clock started running, and Aaron spiked it. My apologies. So 2nd and 10 Labette County, as they are not in down and goal to go territory. 2nd and 10 at the Fort Scott 11.
Okay, yeah, so of course this gets interesting too. You get compressed down here on the goal line. Spreading out again. We'll see what Coach Argerbright has dialed up. I'm glad it's him making these calls right now, not me. I'm not sure what I'd do here.
30 seconds left in the half. Aaron Wyrick in the gun, Fields to his right. Collects, gives on the jet sweep. Nolan Nash tries to turn it upfield, and nothing. Lost a few there on the jet sweep. I'm trying to lean kind of out the window here a little bit. The clock is stopped at 22.6. I don't know if that's due to an Argerbright timeout or he was tackled out. It looks like Coach was forced to take that timeout. So didn't want a negative play there necessarily, but it looks like it's shaping up for us to take 2 shots at the end zone with no timeouts and 22 seconds left, up 21-7.
Yeah, I'm curious what he's thinking here. I mean, I definitely want to score, but I also think we could kick a field goal. I know that's probably the plan B.
That's true. That is true.
But, yeah, we'll see what
this is kind of the part of the field where Labette County struggled to score in the air.
Things just change when you have a goal line and the out of bounds behind you. It helps free safeties because they have basically a defender behind them, so they can kind of front their man. It flips the script completely for defensive backs when you're compressed like this. So it's tougher.
It is. Field gets congested. 3rd down and 12 for Labette County. The ball is on the Fort Scott 13. 22 seconds left in the half. Grizzlies lead by 14. Chest high snap. Fields, nothing. Negative. On a handoff, Labette County's got to get on the ball here. That clock's not going to stop. As they're going to run on, I think, a field goal unit. Boy, this is kind of a sloppy finish to the half here. Wow. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. On to kick is Nolan Nash. They get the snap, the hold. The kick is on its way and short. Okay, Labette County is going to go into the halftime up 21-7. As I love that they were kind of looking to get Nolan a kick there, as he's kicked great tonight.
Yeah.
And he kicked that one well. It is into the wind and kind of ballooned a little bit. So Labette County takes a 21-7 halftime lead into the locker room. No complaints from up here. Labette County looked mighty fine. Fort Scott tried to scare us a little bit, but Labette County did a nice job recovering from those moments. It is homecoming, and I believe, have they had that? I got here a little late during setup. They haven't done the ceremony yet, have they? Yes. Oh, they did that?
Yeah, it's all done.
Oh, goodness. I forgot a piece of equipment at the house, so I had to run home, and it was wild. So sorry about that. We'll return in 5 minutes for our Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
Discover what you've been missing in Parsons, Kansas. Curious Minds Discovery Zone, a children's museum that inspires a love of learning, with hands-on exhibits for all ages to imagine, create, learn, and discover. Kids enjoy looking through microscopes, building on our magnetic ball run wall, creative play in our doctor's office or grocery store, and lots more. Discover, explore, Parsons, Kansas.
In 2003, Tank Connection founders envisioned a Southeast Kansas-based company dedicated to innovating voltage storage tanks, offering superior products and services through a customer-focused team. 2 decades later, and products in 64 countries and on 6 continents, this vision endures. Tank Connection employee owners are dedicated to a future where their shared purpose brings empowered realities to as many lives as possible.
Here's a bright idea. Make sure you put your pants on before leaving the house. Sure, it seems simple, but sometimes simple doesn't happen. At Idea Tech, we think it's simple to have real people who live in Kansas helping customers. We understand that not everyone in our industry agrees, but then again, not everyone puts on pants before they leave the house. We think it's important to get the simple things right. Putting our pants on and providing local customer service. Another bright idea from Idea Tech.
Nice hand for the Labette County High School dance team. Thank you, ladies.
Welcome in, Grizzly fans. This is the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, brought to you by Doctors Gilmore, Newland, and Ray. I'm Jack Leake III, joined alongside my father, Jack Leake Jr. 9 minutes until the players come back on to stretch and warm up. Gives us plenty of time to break down what happened in that first half. Labette County leads Fort Scott 21-7. The 3 scores for Labette County come off of Kagan Bates and Aaron Wyrick short touchdown runs, and that third touchdown came from Deontay Fields on a 75-yard sprint on the first play of the drive after stopping Fort Scott on 4th down. So there was a lot kind of to unpack in that first half, but it did kind of feel like, I mean, I'd say that first half was probably 85% Labette County, 15% Fort Scott, if that. But that short showing that Fort Scott, that short threat they made, and they still might come back and win, I have no idea. But that short period where they made it 14-7, got the stop, it really made the game shaky, but Labette County responded well to that push.
Yeah, there was a lot emotionally. I was all over the place with that game. I felt I kind of lulled myself into some complacency early on. We're up 14-0, driving.
Easy, yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, then just like that, they developed some momentum and a little bit, like we said, a little bit of just that hitch you see when a competitor just kind of gets a little feel, a little taste of something good happening. So, yeah, and then we had a couple of really good things to help kind of squelch it on our end. But that's kind of been our MO. I feel like we've started most of our games really strong and then had to work a little harder in the second half or later in the game, but we ended up doing just that. So, this team just, if we continue to mature and maintain that man, when you got your opponent down and you just kind of put that lower the blow there just to kind of devastate where you kind of put them in a situation where they almost lay down. So I think we get the ball first here. I think it's super important we string together a good drive, and even if we don't score points, let's really put it on them and pin them down in their end of the end zone, or their end of the field rather, or score some points.
We are actively working on getting you some scores from around the area. I know there's a big one going on in Frontenac tonight. Parsons is at Frontenac tonight, so that's kind of a fun, community-driven matchup, if you will. So we'll look to try to get you the score on that one. The KLKC radio station also covers Parsons sports on 93.5 FM as well. Again, Labette County leads Fort Scott 21-7. This is the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, brought to you by Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray. In that first half, Labette County defensively recovered 3 Fort Scott fumbles, and sometimes it's fun during the halftime show to try to put myself in the Fort Scott broadcasters' shoes. What are they saying and thinking?
Yeah.
And I bet they're referencing 2 things. The penalties that Fort Scott had upon themselves, in particular early in that they didn't even feel like they got off the bus yet. Some of those penalties, quick 3-and-outs, fumbles, whatever. So the penalties, and then those 3 fumbles. They fumbled 3 times and turned it over on downs 1, if not 2 times. Granted, are those mistakes that they made, and that's part of the game? Yeah, absolutely. But, 3 fumbles, that's certainly something that you're looking at, thinking, man, I know we did fumble them, but if say we didn't fumble 2 of them, maybe this would be a 1-possession game instead of a 2-possession game. So just kind of try to put my mind in the shoes of a Fort Scott fan, and they're probably looking at those 3 fumbles and thinking, ouch, I mean, that hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fair point. Because it is easy to watch your team, and when things don't go absolutely perfectly, you say to yourself, well, if we'd have done this and this, well, then we'd be up, I guess, another 2 scores. So, that's a good analogy, and that's a good way to look at the game. Both teams kind of look at it differently. If you, like you said, if you have an opponent tell the story how the game went versus how the same game you saw, you would think they're watching 2 complete different games. So anyway, so yeah, that's well said. And I think then, of course, the Grizzlies still need to come out here early and kind of take charge and take control of this game and kind of get this closed out and get this first conference win.
Labette County had a chance to score before the end of the half. Fort Scott, one of those 3 fumbles that they have, and mind you, all 3 of those fumbles were recovered by Labette County, if you didn't quite catch that point. But the 3rd and final fumble was on a special teams return. I believe that was after Deontay Fields' touchdown. Anyways, Labette County had the ball 1st and 10 inside the Fort Scott 30 and failed to score points. Nolan Nash's field goal came up short left as the buzzer sounded, if you will, at the end of the second quarter. So they were even threatening up until the final horn to go up 3 scores, but it stays a 2-possession lead for Labette County at 21-7. Caleb, do you have a couple scores, I believe, from the Parsons game and maybe the Chanute and Independence game for us?
Yeah, for sure. I have Parsons playing. Is that Frontenac? Frontenac. They're down 6-14 right now. It's halftime.
Parsons is down.
Parsons is down, and also Indy is down to Chanute at halftime, 20-21. Very close game.
Yeah, that's a closer game than I expected that to be so far. And I think the Parsons Frontenac, that's the game of the week.
Yes.
So that was, it should be a really good matchup. Looks like it is.
Wow. Halftime, Chanute 21, Independence 20. So a couple interesting scores there from games close to the area. Thank you, Caleb. 2:40 until the players return onto the field. In fact, here comes Coach Stark's squad across the railroad tracks onto Lucas Field. We're going to step aside. Let's go ahead and round out the halftime show. We'll do one more 5-minute timeout, and we'll come back with the second half. Thanks for being with us here on KLKC Parsons.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Kraus in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at klkcradio.com.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Here's a bright idea: streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTek has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTek has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTek.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Get their children picked up on time.
Well, welcome back, Grizzly fans. Getting ready to start the second half, third quarter here. Labette County Grizzlies are ahead, leading the Fort Scott Tigers 21-7. So are you back and with us?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. 7 out of 10.
That concession stand is getting in the way of us doing our job, obviously.
Well, so I got a hot dog, and the predicament is I will have no time to eat said hot dog. I have found that to be quite a challenge. So I need to get my timing better. Halftime is my only opportunity. So I've blown it.
You need
so
to have it delivered.
I just have to smell it now. Yeah, I do. Labette County to receive the football to begin the second half. That south wind is still holding its head pretty good. As I was walking even to the restrooms, I could feel it. Labette County's going to return it left to right here. And it's Riggin Ross, the freshman, on the return. And he'll bring it out to about the 31. Nice return from the freshman.
It sure was. You know, that's no easy task to put a freshman out there on a varsity football game. And, you know, taking the kickoff back, that's always a little bit of a nerve-wracking thing for a lot of juniors or seniors, you know. Got 11 guys coming at you full speed. So that was really well done there.
Another score I see pop up here at halftime. Girard leads Iola 28-0. Keep you updated on those scores as the game goes on. Here's kind of a flare out to Fields. He'll catch the pass from Wyrick, get the first. There's a flag down. He'll gain 12 and be tackled at the 43, but the flag is down about the 35, right where Deontay went to turn it upfield.
Yeah, we might have a hold or something. I seldom do the defense get flags thrown on them in that area. I guess it could, but we'll see what. That's such a nice little pass and play there. Well ran. Looks like it's going to come back. Yeah, holding.
It is holding on Labette County. Another score, Paola 19, Pittsburgh 0. Caleb, is that one at halftime? Or close? Okay, halftime. Paola 19, Pittsburgh 0. First and 15 for Labette County. Ball at their own 21. 11:40, third quarter if you're just joining us. Second half just started. Labette County leads 21-7 over Fort Scott. 4-3 front for the Tigers. Another quarterback draw for Wyrick, and it's read well by the defensive front of the Tigers. A few different guys in there on the effort. The main man for the Tigers was Brody Stoughton.
Yeah, that collapsed pretty quickly. Aaron might have got a little bit quick on that. Sometimes that quarterback draw, you have to kind of hesitate a count or so. It's hard to do. That just allows those linebackers to release thinking it's a pass. So I tell you, we talked about this. Labette County, I think this is a super important drive for us right now. So second in the country mile, but we need to somehow figure out in the next 2 or 3 plays how to get a first here and keep this going.
Barrett Heston in single coverage. Wyrick looking that way. He's covered, so he'll tuck it and run. And Aaron is going to pile drive his way to the 30 and get back to that original line to make it 3rd and 10. And multiple plays in the playbook for 3rd and 10. Not as many for 3rd and 15. So a beneficial run there from Aaron. Good effort.
Yeah, it sure was, and another good decision. I mean, of course, I can't scan the field, but he didn't see anybody open. And instead of forcing it or throwing it where he shouldn't throw it, he tucked it and ran. That's exactly what you want your quarterback to do.
Fort Scott's front seven has contained the ball really well. I know Aaron's not really a rollout guy, all the time, but he can. And Fort Scott's done a good job of keeping him in the box for the most part.
Yes, they have.
3rd and 10, screen play. I love this. What a good call. If he can get past him, Fields does. First down. Love that play call on 3rd and 10. Gain of 13.
Yeah, sure enough. And I haven't seen us throw that middle screen like that, and I'm a huge proponent of the screen plays too. I mean, just allows an aggressive defense who's really trying to create havoc. That just kind of blows it all up in their face. So another great play call, and it was well executed. So, yeah, well done.
1st and 10, Labette County. They've picked up a 3rd and 12 and a 3rd and 10 in tonight's game so far. It's a handoff. Deontay, left side. Brought down, gain of 1, 2nd down and 9, ball at the 45. 9 minutes on the clock and melting. 21-7, Labette County, your score.
And I'll tell you, the O-line gets some credit on that screen too. They have to sell that. If they just stand up and let the defender come through, you can tell that real easily as a linebacker that it's a screen. So you have to block for just a beat or so and then release. And that generally allows the linebackers to go ahead and start taking steps lateral or backwards. So that was really well designed.
Man, you're killing it tonight. These breakdowns are really solid. Now, I'm serious. Fields out to the right on that flare pass. I don't know exactly what that's called, but he kind of caught it out in the flats, gained about 3, and he's slow to get up. Flips the ball to the official as he rises to his feet and appears to be okay. 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Grizzlies. Claiborne, Bates, and Wyrick talking to their head coach.
Well, excited to hear what Coach Argerbright's got drawn up for the Grizzlies on 3rd and 7 or whatever. So let's keep this drive going, though. It's important.
Ball on the right hash. It's been a long drive for the Grizzlies. 7:45 approaching on the clock. Be a big pickup. Wyrick checks it down to Fields, hit his hand, and fell incomplete. Not so sure if he would have gotten the first or not, but the way that Fields has been a force to this defense, he might have, but nonetheless fell incomplete, and Labette County forced to punt.
Yeah, we did some things well on that drive. We had, held the ball for, 4 minutes or so. So let's get a good punt here, try to pin him down there, and then have a good defensive stand.
Samantha Heston and Jessica Rudd. So, Ashley, Samantha, and Jessica, thank you for all you do for our Booster Club.
Camden Good has punted well for Labette County, held on to it for a while this time, and it was almost blocked by Fort Scott. And it's down at the 40 as it was fielded by Alex Ludwig for Labette County. That punt might have been tipped, I don't know. And here's my question, because Fort Scott didn't know where that ball was going to land and almost touched it. If a punt is tipped or seemingly tipped, if it accidentally hits the backside of the return team and they don't even know where the ball is because it was blocked, does that count as a live ball fumble? You wouldn't think so.
Well,
if it was blocked.
I think, yeah, but I think, of course, if they tip it, as long as the tip's on behind the line of scrimmage, well, then that's a whole different set of. We'll talk about that in just a second. Here's the play.
Yeah, sorry. 1st and 10 Tigers run to the right, and Clayton is smoked. Gained 5, though. Didn't look like it was a progressive run, but the contact didn't take place till down the field. So 2nd and 5 Tigers.
Yeah, and they're making it pretty obvious. They're going to stay with what they're not getting panicky and starting to try to throw the ball or do all sorts of, black magic plays or whatever you want to call it. They're going to stay with what got them here, and that's running the ball, running the option, lining up, playing smash mouth. So Labette County's going to have to really buckle up here this 3rd quarter.
Another handoff. Clayton looking for a hole, just following his blockers, gets the first across midfield. Pyle still shoving into Grizzly territory to the 44. And he just kind of had his left hand on the hip of his offensive line and just followed him down the field.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like what they're zone blocking, when they do that. It's kind of like a wedge block to lineman. You're not blocking a man, you're blocking a zone, and it's just almost like a push. So, hey, right now, Fort Scott, they're here moving the ball. We're going to have to really man up and put a stop to this.
Another give. Clayton, a lot of room. Gain of 8, gain of 9. Tackled forward. Gain of 10, I think. 1st down Tigers. Kepley on the tackle alongside Alex Ludwig as well. They're going to mark him short, 2nd down and 1 yard for Fort Scott. But Creed Clayton had that big run that was almost a touchdown earlier in the game. He's running it hard right now on this drive.
Yeah, this is a dangerous down, 2nd and 1. A lot of times you'll throw the ball on this one. Nope.
Cannon under center gives it to Clayton. 1st down, gain of 3 to the 30-yard line. 5:50 left in the 3rd period. Labette County leads 21-7. And this snapshot of the game, Labette County forced to punt. Fort Scott got good field position and is driving. This snapshot of the game feels very similar to in the first half when they were making their push to get back in it.
Yeah, and Fort Scott's kind of gone to a hurry up. They're getting in the huddle, breaking and going, and we're trying to kind of get ourselves shuffled on the line here. So got an early whistle here.
Penalty before the snap on Fort Scott. Offsides on Labette County. And there's been a couple times, and I don't know if it's intentional, but there's still a lot of Labette County defensive pieces moving and shifting around up to the snap. And maybe that's part of a scheme. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, you get set, and then when they go down, you shuffle so they don't know who they're blocking. That's the idea.
Got it. Cannon, the quarterback, gives. And, man, that looked like it was going to be a loss of a yard, and they get the 1st down, a gain of 8, and a late flag.
Another flag on the play.
I think it's going to be on Labette County. Paxton Allen, the ball carrier. I didn't quite see exactly what happened, but my guess is Labette County utilized Allen to get to their feet, and you can't use a player to help stand up. I don't know why I thought I saw that whenever I glanced and saw the result of the play. You'll have to fact check me on the live stream, but I think this is a personal foul on Labette County.
Oh, they picked it up.
Oh, they picked it up. Okay. All right.
Well, I respect that. The refs got together and talked about it, so they must have got it right. But that doesn't change the fact that right now we're getting out tough. We're hitting the ball carrier, but he's driving his legs. We're going to have to continue to wrap up and break down and make good tackles here.
Fort Scott under center is Cannon. Hand off to Clayton, right side, and Labette County bottles him up. Feels really like the first time in a while Labette County's stuff to run.
Yeah, on 1st down, you got to win 1st down because, when the other team picks up 4 or 5 yards on 1st down, you're 2nd and 5. So 2nd and 10 has a whole different feel to it, especially for Fort Scott. They like to run the ball. And when teams get in 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 8. It's just a run team it's a little clumsy, a little awkward for them. So let's see how they respond right here.
2nd and 11. Under 5 minutes to play in the third. They go right back to Clayton, who gains a chunk, and a late flag flies. Well, not a late flag. It was kind of as he was being tackled.
And it came from, holding.
Holding on the offense. It was the white hat who has been, I guess that's not called the back judge, is it? I don't really know. But he's been behind the quarterback, and he kind of underhand threw that flag. It was a line drive toss by the official. It was a beauty, really.
Well, we needed that. I'll say that much. Here we looking at 2nd and 20 now, or 2nd and whatever. I can't quite tell, but 2nd and long. So, again, I don't think Fort Scott wants to throw the ball. It wouldn't surprise me to see him just hand off one more time.
They're going to pass. Cannon looking deep. It's caught. It is caught at the 15-yard line, so still no first down, but a progressive play nonetheless. The receiver is Drayden Marlowe. Good coverage. I couldn't quite tell if he hauled it in, but he popped to his feet with the pigskin caressed in his arms, and sure enough, Marlowe caught it. So 3rd and 5 now, whereas if that pass is incomplete, it's 3rd and 20, so huge for the Tigers.
Yes, it is. I think that was just a tight-end release right there. That was well done by Fort Scott.
Quarterback keeper really mixing it up. Cannon going to move forward and is going to be about 1.5 yards shy. So Labette County, who is up 21-7, has a chance to stall out and end a Fort Scott drive that took a lot of time off the clock and would, if we got the stop, result in no points. This would be a big balloon pop to Fort Scott's sideline.
Yeah. They've had one back that's really hurt us. I would key him for sure.
4th and 2, actually. Big play. Inside give. Clayton hit. Stuffed. Didn't get it. Turnover on down, Tigers. And the Labette County defense stonewalls them again up front. Bend but do not break, the Grizzly defense.
Gosh, I'll tell you, that is so huge.
Wow.
Fort Scott they drove the ball 40, 50 yards. I'm trying to look back now here, and now we burn down to 2:45, and we take over, still up 2 scores, up 21-7 with 2:45 left in the third quarter. So, great job there by the defense, staying tough.
Yeah, that's a big deal because Fort Scott isn't what I would call a rapid-moving offense. So they have to score 3 more times to win this game.
Yeah.
That was a huge stop. And now it's almost the 4th quarter. So, I mean, keep scoring if you can if you're Labette County. I know that's their mindset. A lot of clock left, a lot of game. Handoff to Fields up the middle. Big gap for Deontay. Slipped a little bit. Fort Scott might have helped him in that regard. The tackle, rather. Gain of about 9 for Deontay. Nice job by the offensive line giving Deontay some alleys to hit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he had some green grass in front of him. He was frustrated at himself. He slipped. He kind of fell awkwardly. I was thankful to see him pop right up. I thought, sometimes when you fall and your leg kind of folds a little bit different, you worry about straining something. So, hey, 2nd and 1. Look for Argerbright to kind of do a little play-action bomb. I don't know. We'll see.
2nd and 1. 2 minutes left, third quarter. Wyrick under center with Fields the lone back. They're going to go to Deontay again. He's grabbed around the waist, but forward progress might get him the first. No. 3rd and inches for Labette County. And why it's interesting is because we're so backed up in our own territory, whereas I don't know if we have 2 plays to get 6 inches, maybe just 1.
Well, I look for Wyrick, the quarterback, sneak it and pick this up. And if we don't, I'm pretty confident at this point we'll go for it on 4th and inches. But let's pick it up here.
Wyrick on 3rd and inches. Under center. Quarterback sneak, plows forward. Boy, that official at the top there did not move. But it is a first down. All right. It didn't look like he advanced from where he was standing, but Wyrick got out to the 21 and gives Labette County a fresh set of sticks, and the clock is ticking near that 60-second mark in the third quarter.
That is so hard to stop a quarterback sneak from getting a little bit, you know. The quarterback and center know the snap count. The defense doesn't. You just – it's a super effective play generally.
Yeah, it is.
For a super short, you know, there's no extra movements to try to hand the ball off. You just go.
Nobody's really defending Kagan Bates in the slot. Now they kind of pick him up. It is a pass to the left side out to the 25. A quick out for Labette County there as Wyrick whipped it over there to Camden Good for his first reception of the evening.
Yeah, I like that. That's first down. We pick up 4.5. So now we're in 2nd and 5, let's say. Nice little quick slant type route. That's hard to cover. And it's a relatively, I hate to say easy, but the receiver pretty much just spins, does a hook route, and the quarterback just drills it. So it's a good play.
Labette County does have to snap the ball as the play clock is 1 second ahead of the game clock. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They snap it. Fields, inside handoff, moves forward, still pushing near the first down marker. Depending on the spot, he is awful close as the third down or the third quarter siren sounded in the middle of that play. And it looks like Fields got the first down. So Labette County momentously making their way into the fourth and final period here at home in the first night of conference play against Fort Scott. Labette County 21, Fort Scott 7, back in 1 minute. This is Grizzly football.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
A little quarterback keeper for Aaron Wyrick to start the fourth quarter of play here at Lucas Field. Ran right into the Tigers' linebacking core, did Aaron Wyrick for no gain. So 2nd down and 10 for the Grizzly offense that leads the Tigers by 14 with 11:30 left in the game. And Nolan Nash is put in motion by his quarterback, and it's going to be offsides on Fort Scott before the ball is snapped. So the Tigers helping out Labette County. The Tigers have been more disciplined in the second half as far as those penalties and those fumbles go.
Yeah, they have been. That one sure helped us. You know, now we're looking at 2nd and 5. That's a whole different play call there. 2nd and 9 versus 2nd and 5 just opens up so much more for Coach Argerbright.
Second and 5. 3 backs behind Wyrick. The give to Kagan Bates, trying to navigate his way down Tiger Lane and can't find anything open. No gain, 3rd down and 5. Coach Argerbright encouraging his offense.
Tigers defense did a good job swarming there. I mean, there were a lot of white jerseys around the ball, just nowhere to go.
So 3rd and 5. Both these teams on some of their successful drives have taken a lot of time off the clock. Fort Scott took a lot of time off in their final drive of the third quarter before Labette County stonewalled them on 4th and short. High snap for Wyrick, flips it out to the flats, right side on 3rd and 5, and they're not going to get it. A gain of a couple. I think that was Nolan Nash on the far side and only gained a couple, and the offense turns and looks at their head man who paces back and forth on 4th down and 3, up 14 with 10 minutes left, and it looks like he's going to go.
Well, we're going to look for a Hut 3, Hut 4, Hut 5, try to get them to jump probably, and then call a timeout. I'm guessing, maybe not. Coach Argerbright's, I love
He might do it.
He might do it. So I respect whatever, because he's the one that makes the calls and takes the heat, or, you know.
The defense has really done a good job tonight. 4th and 3, they do go for it. Quarterback draw, Wyrick gonna get it!
Wow.
Into the shallow secondary to the 45. And Coach Argerbright's nervous pace turns into a fluent walk as he rallies up this next play call.
Yeah, what a gutsy call. Good run there by Aaron. The snap came back good and hot. He kind of had a half a fumble, or, you know, had to get a handle on it, I'll say. So, once again, the unsung heroes, the offensive line, really did a nice job, you know, making that reachable. I mean, there's no other way to go about that. So, gosh, that's big. Now we have first down. Could eat away at the clock here, string together a couple more first downs. It just continues to tighten the noose on Fort Scott.
Parker Midget, the center for Labette County. Fields the give. Up the middle. Pile drives, gain of about 4. Yeah, that was a big conversion. Because now, you know, we talked about how big that 4th down stop was for Labette County late in the third quarter and how Fort Scott doesn't move the ball quickly. They still have to score 3 more times to win this game, and now there's under 9 minutes to play. I mean,
yeah, if they get when they get the ball back, after we score or whatever, they're going to have to shift their play calling. So, yeah, we just need to maintain ball control and keep making first downs.
Handoff for Labette County here. Great job by the offensive line again. Labette County is going to be just a step short of the first. Nolan Nash on the carry. There is a penalty down from the back judge in the secondary. Tossed one into the heap of players. Talks to the white hat, and we get the signal here. It is holding on Labette County. So 2nd and 5 turned into 3rd and 1, turned into 2nd and 15 or so. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, those holds are, you know, they happen, I guess. And sometimes one ref won't call a hold. I mean, it just depends on if he thinks you're hooking him or what. So, yeah, that hurt a little bit there. 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10. 8 minutes to play in the game. Labette County up 14. Good turnout here at home, as always. It is homecoming night. No receivers. It is a play-action bootleg. Wyrick dodges one defender, throws across his body, tipped by 2 Tigers and falls incomplete, thankfully. That would have been a big swing for the Tigers, but the pass was high and hot. And now Aaron Wyrick's getting the play call in his left ear from Coach Argerbright on 3rd and long.
Yeah, good. Again, that's a good play call, I think. I mean, I know we didn't make the reception or whatnot, but, you know, so many people would think you would just hand the ball off 3 times. And no, Argerbright's constantly trying to do what's best to get the next first and move the ball. So that's a tough throw. Aaron sprinting out to his left and squaring up and throwing against your body. That's not easy to do.
Ball at the middle of the field. Labette County at their own 46, 3rd and 10. Wyrick drops straight back. A little flip screen to Fields, who's met by a couple of his friends from Fort Scott, Kansas. Gain of 2, 4th down and 8. And why do I still think there's a chance?
Well,
on comes the punt team with 7:20 left. That's a good smart call, because you don't want to give Fort Scott any additional help, and they're already in a big hole here.
Yeah, 4th and 9's a whole different ball game than 4th and 3. So,
Volmer Construction, Dr. Ron and Amy Leonard.
7 minutes. The clock is still running. Camden Good on to punt. Labette County up by 14. Good collects the good snap and boots it Kind of a penetrating flight that lands at the 25 and is down at the 27 after taking a small Fort Scott bounce towards their end of the field. So on comes the Tigers offense in 30 seconds. They need to do something, and they need to do it quick here on KLKC.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during Couples Court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKCRadio.com.
Pace of play moving quickly. We missed one play. Mason Hoppus got a sack for Labette County, and here's a screen that is intercepted, I think. A screen pass picked by Barrett Heston. Read the eyes of the quarterback, stayed home, and picked it out of the air. Another turnover forced by the Labette County defense.
Yeah, here we go. He's let him do his double dunk. So Barrett, that was a screen too, a little slip screen to the side. We talked about this. Fort Scott got pushed into a situation they don't like, and that's having to score quickly.
Right.
Having to throw the ball, and they're obviously not comfortable with that. So, I mean, that was a huge turnover for us, but in some ways I'm not surprised. So let's just take care of business here, score, and just put this game out of reach for sure.
4 forced turnovers by this Labette County defense. A Labette County run up the middle, goes to the end zone. Nolan Nash on a 24-yard touchdown run. Nothing but green grass for the entirety of that sprint. Nolan Nash with a touchdown run for himself tonight. He's played hard. He played well last week at Wellington as a receiver, and now he's going to kick the extra point. He does it all.
He does it all. Yeah, what a gash run that was. He saw a little bit of daylight, and just, again, I think they underestimate how fast Nolan is.
27-7, Labette County in front. Nolan to have a perfect night. It's good. He's 4 for 4, and it's 28-7. Labette County leads Fort Scott as Nolan Nash with a 25-yard touchdown run for the Grizzlies on that drive after the Barrett Heston interception. One more 60-second break, and the Labette County defense makes their way back onto the field.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Armstrong on the return for Fort Scott off of the Nolan Nash kick. He's tackled at the 30, so the Tigers looking down the barrel of a 1-4 start to their season. But Labette County is looking at a 4-1 start to the year. Man, that's just, 4-1. And your loss is at Wellington, and you were in the game for three quarters. I mean, what a nice season for Labette County so far, and they're wanting a lot more, that's for sure. Here's a run up the middle for the Tigers. Gain of about 9, maybe 10 if they're going to give Ogren the first down. 5.5 minutes to play.
It looks like Fort Scott instantly went back to the ground and pound there and picked up 10, basically 9.5. So, and they're going to speed this game up and try to score as quickly as possible. So Labette County needs to take care of business here.
Second and a short one, inside give to the right side. Ogren flipped, did kind of a cartwheel in midair, had his legs chopped out from under him. He'll get the first down, though, gain of 4.
I think we'll give them that all day long. The clock's running. There's 5 minutes left. I mean, we're not going to just become soft about it, but if they're wanting to pick up 2, 3, 4 yards and huddle up, I think we're in good shape with that.
4:45 to play in the game. Fort Scott taking their time. They're going to pass, though. Cannon well over the head of the intended target, Dexter Williams. But that does do one thing. It stops the clock, and Fort Scott needs all of that they can get as they trail Labette County 28-7 with 4:40 left in the contest. Next week, Labette County is going to travel to Coffeyville, and you will be blessed with getting the play-by-play next week from Coach Tanner Russell's brother, Tyler Russell, who is so kind and has agreed to help us out next week in my absence next week at Coffeyville. As here's a run to the right side by Cannon, and he's brought down firmly. Claiborne and Bates in there on the tackle. 3rd down and 8. So excited to, I don't know if I'll get to listen or not as I'm out of town actually officiating a wedding. So I'm excited for that. But I know you and Tyler will do a great job next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So be on the road at Coffeyville, Kansas. Yeah, so.
Elevated in their stadium 5 or 6 stories. It's really cool, though. You might take a pair of binoculars if you...
Do they have an elevator?
We did not take one a couple years ago, I don't think. Here's a run up the middle for the Tigers. And Ogren is swamped by Aaron Wyrick and Tayton Claiborne. The one thing where I feel, which last year's linebacking core is hard to improve on if you're Labette County. It was great. I feel like we're quicker to the edges this year a little bit. It's been harder for teams to beat us to that sideline this season, I feel like.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're definitely a fast team, absolutely. Yeah, we can contain pretty much anybody. So, I mean, I know Jamal's not out there, but we've got, as you know, 3 of the fastest kids in 4A states. So, yeah, we can get to the ball.
Timeout, Coach Stark, as he's facing a 4th down and 8. His team trails by 21 points with just over 3 minutes left. It's looking pretty good for Labette County. We'd like to keep it here and thank our sponsors for allowing this broadcast to take place. Community National Bank, SEK Orthopedics, Doctors Mosier and Meister, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, the Unified School District of USD 506, Elm Haven Nursing Home and Woodridge Estates, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, the Corner Store of Altamont, the Bartlett Co-op, Wood Insurance Center, Idea Tech, and Tank Connection. Coach Stark had his offense lined up to punt on 4th and 8, but after the timeout, they're going for it. Cannon drops back, pressured and dropped! Turnover on downs yet again. The Labette County forceful front gets home yet again. Michael Reed in there on the sack. Mason Hoppus right next to him as well.
You know, what do you do if you're Fort Scott? You're down 3 scores, the game's over. It's 4. I mean, I understand that. That's a hard place to be.
Yeah, there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A flag?
Yeah.
In the secondary. Interesting.
It's almost, I hate to say this, but probably against the defense,
yeah.
It seems, where it was thrown. Maybe not.
Holding on the defense.
Huh.
where the flag is at, I felt like Cannon got sacked before any of his receivers could get that far down the field.
Yeah, he didn't ever even have an opportunity to.
Right. (28-7). Labette County leads. That does grant Fort Scott a first down. Wow.
Goodness.
Mason Hoppus and Michael Reed made the game-ending, game-sealing sack, which it still is all but sealed for Labette County, up 21 with 3 minutes left. But there was a holding call in the secondary that was quietly tossed, and boy, first down Fort Scott. Or no, it's fourth down still. I'm sorry. They flipped the stick back. So it's 4th down and 4 for the Tigers. Cannon under center. Labette County tries to play defense on the run, and he'll get it, does Clayton, but there's another penalty by the official in front of the Labette County sideline.
Been kind of a sloppy ending here.
Yeah. Kind of dragging on a little bit. What was the exact penalty?
Holding on Fort Scott.
Okay.
Holding on Fort Scott.
So, kind of negates the holding call on Labette County a little bit. So, that'll back them up 10 yards. So, it'll be 4th down and long for the Tigers now with under 3 minutes to play. As the score update in the Chanute and Independence game, I believe, is still 21-20. We'll get a fresh update for you on that, as well as the Parsons and Frontenac game. Timeout, Fort Scott. It'll be their final one of the game. We'll go ahead and take it with them. A 1-minute break on KLKC.
Here's a bright idea. Streaming without buffering. It's not 2014. There's no reason for laggy internet and buffering shows. IdeaTech has the technology. It's fiber optic cable. IdeaTech has brought high-speed fiber to 75 communities and counting. Don't put up with outdated internet. Stream without buffering. Another bright idea from IdeaTech.
Number 4, Caden Bates. And that will bring up a turnover on
Fort Scott throws an incompletion on 4th down and 13, and they'll turn it over on downs again. I don't even know if Fort Scott's punted tonight. They've either turned it over before 4th down or turned it over on 4th down.
That's interesting. I don't
I
think
don't
they
know
have.
if
I
they
hadn't thought
punted.
about it.
So Labette County will have the football for more than likely the final time tonight, as there's a train chugging its way down the railroad tracks that run across in between the football field and the parking lot and the school and the locker room. So hopefully that train isn't too long, as this game's almost over. Here's a handoff to the left side to Ross, the freshman, Riggin Ross, and he'll gain about 8. The freshman, you can hear that train pretty good. The freshman had a special teams return earlier in the game, very positive one as well. So a few JV guys in here, or I guess I shouldn't say that, varsity guys obviously suited up tonight, in there making plays tonight right now.
Yeah, that was a good strong run right there. He saw he was going to get popped from the cornerback. Man, he just tucked it up and just took it, kept driving. That was really well done there. I'm impressed with him.
Isaiah Kuhn on the field as well for Labette County. Here comes an inside give to Claiborne. He'll pick up the first down, gain a 3, and the ball came out late, but the play was blown dead prior to the ball coming out. Fort Scott really trying to rip at it. They're out of Claiborne's hands. So 1st and 10, Grizzlies, under 2 minutes to play. Do we have any score updates? No?
I have a little train trivia.
Oh boy.
Either during the Coach Wybera era or Hartman era, a train came during halftime. That was just kind of interesting. And a team got trapped on the wrong side of the tracks. Just interesting.
Did we win by default?
We did not win by default, but it was just kind of, I remember that. It's been 20 years ago or so. Sure enough.
That is unfortunate.
Yep.
That was a short train. It's already gone. Here's Ross, left side. Riggin gets the first and a little bit more inside the 25 as, man, the Grizzly backfield is in good hands.
That freshman is not the least bit. The lights are not too bright for him. He is a hard runner. Really well done and well blocked, too. Again, when the linemen do such a good job, I think it's just easy to look through that and then just see what the back gets to do.
Yeah, we have a really good offensive line. As Labette County's in victory formation, 1st and 10, 50 seconds left. Wyrick kisses the grass with his knee and might have to do that one more time. But Labette County victorious here at home on homecoming. Oh, do we have a score update?
I do have a score update. Pittsburgh is still down to Paola, but now the score is 26-13.
Okay.
Pittsburgh did score, but seems like it's not going to be enough.
As the Labette County game went by pretty quick, both these teams ran a lot, so we'll get some maybe final scores for the post-game show in a little bit. But buzzer sounds and Labette County wins it 28-7 here at home and advances to 4-1 on the season and 1-0 in the SEK Conference. We will look forward to hearing from Coach Argabright in the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show and break down our thoughts on this game and what is ahead for Labette County. Let's start with a 3-minute timeout and come back with the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
if you are on our live stream hanging with us for the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show, you will see, I believe it's led by Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I know Labette County senior Amory Baker led this last year, if I'm not mistaken, but students and players are circled around the Grizzlies split face at the center of the field, a big circle of students. And they do a post-game prayer circle, and it's so cool to see the kids unite in their faith and just speak Jesus over the field and the community after the game, and it's so fun to just see and watch that powerful moment. So if you're on the live stream, you'll see what I'm talking about. Very neat deal. Labette County wins it 28-7 over Fort Scott here on homecoming night here at Lucas Field. The Grizzlies, the last 2 weeks, here against Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago, we were outscored 6-0 in the second half, still won that one. Last week at Wellington, we were outscored in the second half 25-7. So the second half had not been an efficient, productive, or very good positive for Labette County the last couple weeks. But tonight, well, I said all that. What was the score at half tonight? It was 21-7. So
Yes.
Labette County held Fort Scott scoreless and even got a touchdown of our own. So I thought that was kind of notable for me tonight. I know Fort Scott might not be as good as Wellington or Pittsburgh, but Labette County really held their own as Fort Scott made a couple pushes at us.
Yeah, and well, after last week, I think Fort Scott they pushed Pittsburgh.
They
so
did.
They impressed me last week, and I felt like they played hard tonight. Didn't lay down and really made us play 4 quarters. But I'm super impressed with how we come out of the gates in every game. And
Will you all bow your heads, please?
We're going to listen in
Dear
to
Lord,
Amory
thank you
Baker's
for
prayer
letting us
tonight.
all gather together before you. Thank you for with the sport of football that can bring the community together. Thank you for the athletes, officials, parents, and students that are here. Lord, I pray for peace for the O'Connell family and the Coffeyville community. I pray they turn to you in this hard time. We thank you for keeping everyone safe tonight. We pray for protection on the way home. Although we are different in our own ways, we are all united by you. Dear Lord, I just pray for all the people in the circle today. I pray that no matter what may be troubling them, that they would be able to bring it to you. That they would find peace with. Lord, help us to. Lord, help us to remember that every win and loss is a blessing, and that every day we wake up, we have a purpose. I thank you, Lord, for being the same yesterday, today, and always. Amen. Thank you, God.
Amen. What a very cool thing that is done here annually at Lucas Field after the football game. Very cool. And I'm not sure if you could hear what Amory mentioned in her prayer, but our thoughts and prayers are absolutely with the O'Connell family in Coffeyville. A young lady lost her life in a car accident last week, a high school student of Coffeyville, and we are certainly heartfelt towards that situation. And our thoughts and our prayers are with and over that family and over that community, over that school, and over that situation. So very cool tonight. Very proud of those young ladies that led that tonight.
yeah, amen.
Labette County again wins it. Oh, no, they took the score off the scoreboard. Oh, no. 28-7. Oh, thank you. Oh, goodness. 28-7, Labette County wins it here at home to go to 4-1 on the season, and more importantly, in their eyes, 1-0 in the SEK Conference, as they have their eyes on an SEK title. And hopefully that showdown on senior night here at home against Chanute is for that plaque. But it starts next week at Coffeyville. Tyler Russell, Coach Tanner Russell's brother, is going to be on the call next week with Dad. They're at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Coffeyville calling that one. Always fun to go play against Coffeyville. And Caleb, did you remind Coach Argerbright to maybe come join us if he wanted to?
I did indeed.
Thank you.
And also a little score update here. Chanute scored a touchdown but missed the extra point. So now it's 27-20. Independence gets the ball after kickoff.
Okay, it looks like there's about 4 minutes left in that one. So Indy giving Chanute a run for their money on the road at Chanute. So, yeah, really, really interesting score there.
Good game.
And speaking of that, thanks, Caleb. Parsons is trailing Frontenac 21-14. I'm assuming late in the game. I do not see the time on the screen, but I'm assuming that one is deep into the fourth quarter. Frontenac 21, Parsons 14. And a shout out to Parsons running back Chandler Henson, who was the Labette Bank Player of the Week last week. He has been doing a great job for the Vikings. Coach Argabright is making his way up here. His team just came upon a 4-1 record after tonight's victory over Fort Scott. He's hugging it out with a few friends on his way up here. Let's step aside for 2 minutes, and then we'll talk with Coach here on KLKC. Welcome in, Grizzly fans. This is the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Labette County Grizzly football, joined here by head coach Bradley Argabright of those now 4-1 Labette County Grizzlies, 1-0 in conference play. Coach, we have a special guest, a birthday boy with us.
Yeah, we got Kagan Bates up here, number 4 for us. Plays receiver, plays safety, plays outside backer, holder, returner, and just a leader for us. So, happy birthday to Keg, and he's been balling for us, just been playing really well. But like I said, he's our leader, and, he's always our speaking captain, and just does a really nice job for us, making sure that we're ready to play.
That's something that is so easy to notice about your all squad that you've put together. And that work begins in the weight room. It begins in the summertime and all those camps and all that hard work. And it's so fun to watch the result of relationships play out on the field.
Yeah.
You guys are the embodiment of that. Talk about the culture that you guys have here with this football program.
Yeah, it's just being there for one another, making sure we're being good people off the field, making sure we're making the right decisions. But like I said, it's just being there for each other. That's not just on the field, that's off the field. These guys have great camaraderie in the locker room. The other day after practice, we've got 30 guys. We finished at 5:30, and I walk out in the locker room, and about 6:10, they're all hooping and hollering, going nuts. 45 minutes after practice. So, it's just a sign of a team that has a good bond, that's going to play for one another, and they're going to play hard for one another. So just a special bond. I'm going to keep saying we got 18 seniors, so that they're going to go as far as we can follow them. So Just really excited about this team, and it's a really, I told them at halftime and before the game, it's a joy to coach these guys. I really enjoy it. Told them that after the game. Just really enjoy coaching these guys and the buy-in they have and how hard they're playing.
Kagan, you weren't one of those kids hooping and hollering, were you? Surely
yeah,
not.
I was.
He was right. He might have been right in the middle of it.
Yep.
I thought you were just this quiet kid. Oh, okay. Kagan, it's fun to get to talk to you. Have you done this before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I'm sure you might go back and watch some of these games, and you might mute us. I don't know. I wouldn't blame you. But, we refer to you as, I'm sure other commentators do, fiery, personality-driven, promoting just energy and cohesion to your teammates. What do you feel like you bring to this squad from kind of your personality standpoint?
I try to fire the guys up all the time. I'm trying to use all my energy for myself and push energy out to the teammates that need some. And I feel like I can bring leadership to this squad when they need it, and leadership when we don't need it. Other guys can step up.
That's good. I know that you guys have a strong group of seniors, really good senior class.
Yeah.
And that's so important at the high school level on the football field to have those upperclassmen that can lead your team. Talk about this senior class, Coach. I know that's a pretty vague question, but good group.
And we've got 18, 19 with Caleb as our manager. And it's about every position. We've got about 4 or 5, maybe 6 linemen that are seniors, a couple receivers. Taten's our fullback. So just a lot of guys that have played for us for a lot of years and just have gotten better. This group was really good in junior high when they were 7th and 8th graders. And they've really they bought into it. It didn't matter whatever we've done the last 3 years. They knew that, these are the crew that they were going to have. These are the guys they want to go to battle with. And, we've talked about it from day one that we're going to make it a successful year just by our buy-in and how hard we're going to work. So it's fun to see it pay off for these kids. It's hard to see it sometimes when we're looking at this track right here, when we're out here at 6 a.m. running track and in the weight room, sometimes it's hard to see the buy-in and the result. But when you get that, and our practices now are getting better and better. Our JV beat Wellington the other night. So they're playing kind of with a chip on their shoulder. I mean, Reagan Ross gets in there at the end of the game and goes for 25 yards on 2 or 3 carries, freshman. Just playing hard. He was ready for his moment tonight, and he hit the hole hard. So it's just a testament to everybody, but those seniors are the ones that really started for us.
That leads us into kind of a discussion on tonight's game.
Yeah.
Got out early. I mean, got that fumble, scored right away, 14-0, kind of easy breezy. Fort Scott scored, looked like maybe the tide was going to turn as far as they might make a threat. They didn't score again, and the score was 28-7.
Yeah.
Talk about how you feel like the game flow of tonight's contest went.
We've been a really good, I know we've talked about this a couple times, we've been a really good first quarter team. We're usually locked in, ready to go out the gates. Game flow kind of slowed down a little bit. They kind of had a good little drive there. They found something on that third drive that they could exploit. They kind of had a big play on us. They didn't have a lot of big plays, but they had one there that we just didn't wrap up and tackle. But the thing I'm most proud of is we threw a pick right after that possession. And I know it was 4th down, but still they return it to about the 45. They go 15 yards on the next play to the 30. We call timeout, and we talked about regrouping and figuring it out now. We've got to figure it out. We can't let this snowball to make it 14-14. We get the stop down there. I can't remember if it was a turnover, how we stopped him by about the 20, and then next play Deontay goes 80 yards for a touchdown. So, it's just that quick. I told them at half that's how good we can be. We can stop people and then get going in a hurry. But, that was just a huge sequence. That was a game changer right before half, really changed the complexion of the game. So just 2 big plays, a big stop, and then followed by a touchdown. And then, I know we'd like to have that possession back where we get the ball again inside the 30-yard line there at the end of the second quarter with a minute and a half. I know we tried to do a quick field goal, and we didn't execute the way we wanted to there at the end. I was proud about the field goal execution. But, the play before that, that's not the execution we wanted. But, that would have been a big play to change the complexity of the game. But second half, we really just game managed, took care of the ball. When we needed a punt, we punted. When we needed a 4th down, we got a 4th down. Aaron had a nice run there on 4th and 2. But just taking care of the ball, that's been our biggest thing. We had 1 turnover tonight on a 4th down, I believe. Just 1, yes?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, one turnover. So that's just big, taking care of the ball. We punt it there, and Camden has a really nice punt. We get a turnover, and then the next play, once again, Nolan Nash scores. Just taking care of the ball and very much so maximizing our opportunities on their turnovers. So that's what I thought we're doing a really nice job of, just playing complementary football.
As Kagan, I'll bring you in. Labette County, you guys had 4 touchdowns tonight, and I believe you were one
Here's
of
the first
them.
one.
Yes. Yep, down there on kind of that handoff out of that.
It's a birthday gift.
Yes, that's right. That's right. How have you enjoyed, Kagan? I know you're a really good safety and see the field well, just like you do on the basketball court. I noticed that parallel there for sure with you. How have you liked playing that position as it fits, I feel like, your abilities? And then speak offensively, have you enjoyed playing occasionally in kind of that T formation, if you will, with Deontay and Tayton to your left or right and running out of the backfield?
Yeah, for sure. I like playing safety on defense. I'm getting moved to outside linebacker a little bit, especially on the heavy formations. So I'm just trying to set the edge and do my parts because I know Tayton's coming with some fire and ready to light someone up. And on the offensive end, I love the T. I love the I. I love all of that because it's just we're going to hit you in the mouth every play, and then we're going to throw it over your head with Nolan Nash over the top. And then you get pretty confident when you have Michael and Tayton and all our line, full line blocking for you. So I think if our line can get the chemistry going together with Deontay, I think we'll be really scary.
Yeah, this O-line is something else. It's a good O-line Labette County's got out there. I don't really notice many weak points with this squad. It's pretty well-rounded group.
We got a couple subs, too, that are, that could be right in there in the mix. So Mason Hoppus, Keegan Stritsky, Madison Hoppus, they all could, help us, and they're going to eventually. But, the line's playing really well right now. Really proud of those guys.
Coffeyville next week on the road. Coach Russell's brother, Tyler, is going to be doing my job next week.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you'll make the
I'll try to get the elevator right up. Yeah.
And have a chat with Tyler. I'm sure he'd love to talk with you. But, fellas, best of luck next week and moving forward. Great win tonight, 4-1 start. Proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. I also want to shout out Barrett Heston played a really nice game. Had a pick, had a really nice catch in there.
I think it was one-handed.
Yeah, Deontay had a really nice game. Nolan Nash, we put him in the backfield some more than what we have done, and he played really well. Every time he touches the ball, he's going to do something nice. So, and then our line. But I was really impressed with our defense, giving up under 10 points.
Yeah.
I know we talked about getting a shutout tonight. But for us, I really was impressed with our defense and, how they're playing together as a unit. When they get stops, it helps us on offense, especially the way we want to play. So just really proud of the program, and, being 1-0 in SEK is always a nice start. But, next week we're going to have to be ready to go against Coffeyville, respect them. It doesn't matter who we play. We're going to respect them, and we're going to show up and we're going to be ready to play. So really appreciate the crowd tonight. Had a great atmosphere. Congratulations to Jake Harity winning Homecoming King, and then Sammy Martin winning Queen. So just a great day to be a Labette County Grizzly. Me and Kagan played in an epic dodgeball game today, at the school. So I got to throw that out there. But we got to give credit where credit's due.
Yep.
Coach Brown won. They might have won on time. We're going to get this on record.
Yep.
But just really proud to be a Labette County Grizzly and our kids, and the cohesion that we're showing right now. So hats off to our kids.
Looking forward to what's to come for the rest of the season. Kagan, what are you doing to celebrate your birthday this weekend?
Going to casino Saturday night.
Okay, well, all right. I don't know why part of me almost said if you can share, but no, I'm just teasing you. But, hey, happy birthday, Kagan.
Thank you.
Great job this year, fellas. So fun to watch, guys.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Yep.
We're going to give it our best shot next week, and go Grizzlies.
Yep.
Thanks, fellas. Labette County moves to 4-1 on the season, 1-0 in the SEK. You guys take care. Thanks for coming up. At Coffeyville next week is the draw. It'll be Tyler Russell and my dad on the call next week at Veterans Memorial Stadium there in Coffeyville. And you heard him say, why Coffeyville maybe, doesn't have the strongest team that they've ever put on the field. You better believe that this team is not going to overlook somebody or go in thinking that they've already won. They're going to give it their best and respect their opponent, just as the head man right there said. So that'll do it for tonight's broadcast from Lucas Field here in Altamont, Kansas. I'm Jack Leake III, and for Caleb McKee and my dad, Jack Leake Jr. and Annette Tucker back at the station, we say good night and safe travels if you're driving, and as always,